Happy Friday. Friday is the day ruled by Venus, and Venus is the ruler of Libra and Taurus. So it is my planetary ruler, being a Taurus, and I'm able to do a live right now because I had someone be a no-show. So isn't that lovely? 99% of people that come to me are referrals. It's very rare that someone just happens upon me and finds me and then schedules with me. But I do have clients all over Earth. I don't want to call it a globe because I don't want to offend anybody, but honestly, all over the globe. And so when I have someone who is a no-show, I don't really hold animosity towards them because I know that it's because they're not ready. And though I don't like just being completely blown off, like at least have the balls to say that you're not going to show up. But and so these are the areas where spirit will push you, right, to do uncomfortable things, because like holding people accountable in those senses, right? Because I know it's not my worthiness, but this is my livelihood. And so when someone wastes your time, and it makes me reconsider, like I don't charge people prior to sessions, but when these types of incidents happen, I feel like it's the, it's not okay. And to be a no-show for someone when that's their work, and a doctor's office would charge you. Actually, pretty much anyone would charge you ahead of time, and if you don't show up, that's on you. So these are things that I have to consider for myself when they show up. And so what do I need to do to change the situations? And it's very rare. This is such a rare thing that this happens for me, that people just don't show. And like I said, I don't hold animosity for those people because I know it's their fear. Whatever fear he is in, that he completely didn't show up, it's not that he wasn't showing up for me. So it has nothing to do with my worth. It has absolutely everything to do with his willingness to show up for himself. And so so now I just have extra time. Happy Venus Day, Lorena. So my Ascended Masters that showed up today are Hilarion. Hilarion is the divine healer. So he has shown up for me today, and I appreciate that because I am moving through a lot. With this Uranus transit, it's pretty intense for me. And so like I'm sleeping well, but feeling like I want to sleep more, and it's a lot. And then Archangel Azrael showed up, and it says healing of my heart. And I love this. I mean, we're always healing our heart, right? Because the heart is the only chakra that is infinite. It's forever opening. And so I appreciate Archangel Azrael showing up for me. But it says, I'm with you in your time of need, helping your heart to heal. Okay. And then El Moria, clean and shield my energy. And and I always do. So I create a new batch of Florida water, the Luna Flor. So I do have a fresh batch if anyone's interested. Either go onto my website or message me. I am not currently charging shipping for it, so just let me know if you're interested. But it is I make a very limited batch every full moon. And so what that is, it's a spiritual cleanse and shield. So you can dump the entire contents into a bath with intention, and it cleanses and shields the spirit, the aura, and shields you. or you can dilute it in some distilled water and spray it every day on you before you leave your place. You could spray your car. I actually use it as a sheet spray before I sleep. So protecting me in my most vulnerable spaces. And so that's what I use it for. But lots of my own magic goes into making it. So it is very powerful. So attachment showed up, letting go of fear and attachments. And for me, I don't think this is coming up for a person. I feel like this is coming up for a feel, if that makes sense. So I'm really being pulled, and I've talked about it in the past videos from the last week or so, actually since I've returned from Big Sur Salinas. El Moria is the first ray energy, the will to be, to live, to love, to burn with radiant fire. Ooh, thank you for sharing that, Lisa, because he shows up a lot for me. And it used to scare me when this would show up, because it talks about upgrading, right? That I am becoming so powerful that I am falling under the radar of dark energy, so to shield and protect myself. And I used to be like, ooh. But now, I mean, I don't get scared when I see him anymore, but I love that extra bit. Thank you. So this, like being pulled to having to travel, and I've been feeling that for a really long time, like that I've outgrown Arizona and that I really need to go where I'm pulled. And, but then I'm also stuck. See, I heal one level of feeling comfortable financially, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm doing good. You know, bringing in what I need to make sure that I feel provided for, that I feel safe, that my kids feel safe and provided for. And then I get this extra bit, like, this is what you're supposed to be doing. And I'm like, So where I was feeling before, like the only area of my life that was like having a hard time aligning and getting like super harmonized was, you know, drawing in that divine partner. And now I'm like, how am I going to do this? And I'm like, releasing fear, releasing fear, releasing fear. I can do this. I am employed by the universe, and the universe is not going to drop the ball on me. So, yeah. So I think that's what the attachment is. The attachment is that I won't be provided for, that I won't be able to move into it. Washington, that's so crazy that you say that, Lisa. I don't know. Like, is that where you're going, or you're saying that's where you feel I should go? Because I've been really feeling that. And also Mexico. And I've been feeling that for a long time. So, but deep Mexico, there's a pyramid that's calling me in Teotihuacan. So, and my commitment is being tested. This showed up yesterday. This is what's crazy, like in these decks. Even my son, because my son is so cerebral and like mathematically minded, he's like, what are the odds that that happens? And I was like, I don't know. You want to figure it out like mathematically? But it's like, for the same cards to show up for me again and again, it's mind-blowing. So my commitment is being tested. Yeah, my commitment to spirit. So yes, I am obedient to spirit. Spirit is telling me I have to travel. And then I'm like, but, am I going to be able to make my car payment? Dang. Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling too. And I also do see myself moving around and anchoring. So I do feel that. I feel that also, Lisa. And it says you're not alone. And it says that old souls can feel isolated, and that we tend to isolate ourselves. But really, we don't know the exact extent of the energetic leaking that happens through internet, right? So Becca's calling me. She needs to be on this live. So anyway, okay, we don't know the extent of the energetic leaking that happens on the internet, right? And Lisa and I have even had this conversation, like opening portals when we are doing live videos, right? Because I'm allowing the interaction. Becca, you paused my video. So you didn't call quick enough. I was waiting for you. Anyhow, we open energetic portals by making ourselves available on the internet, especially live like this. And so I do have to keep myself protected. No, that's okay. I love you. And so here I am anchoring myself in my sacred space, so I know that I am held by the foundation of this land that I live on, that I've made offerings to, that I have. Actually, my home literally is like Fort Knox energetically. Like nothing is coming in here, but I'm opening this portal right now, sharing this particular space with you. So what are the ramifications of that? And then so on and so on. And once I post it to YouTube, and then so on and so on. And then once I post it to Facebook, and then so on and so on. Anyhow, this card talks about me not being alone, but that that's still isolation. Even though I'm opening myself to the internet and making connections with people I maybe have never even met. But I need to have that physical communion with those that I trust. And so yes, I do with my children, and but creating friendships outside of the internet and not to really isolate myself. And it says that old souls have a hard time with like small talk, and that's so fucking true. Like nothing is more, I don't say it's agitating because I don't get irritated. I'm just like uninterested. I'm totally not interested in small talk. I'm not interested in weather talk. I'm not interested in like niceties and bullshit. Like that's just not what I'm into. And Lisa now, who's a close friend, lives far. Becca, my close friend, lives far. And Diana now is up the Pacific coast. And so most of the people that I am closest to, they're not close physically. Exactly, Lisa. Lisa says, yeah, show me the depths of your heart. Exactly. I want to be able to swim in your soul and feel the light of you and the love of you. That's what I want. Like, yeah. Not like, what's your favorite color? Fuck all that. Anyhow, the sacred geometry that showed up for me today is square. And square talks about foundation. It's also masculine energy, by the way. And masculine energy is supportive and protective, right? And so that's here, me protecting myself. Also El Moria showing up, protecting myself. But square is also representative of the cube, right? And that's being able to see things in all directions, in all corners. And that is how I operate. And so that's also a call to action to me, like being aware and being aware of my surroundings and all perspectives, I guess is the best way to say that. So I'm leaving myself open to that. And I love how this is the masculine energy. Oh, good point, Lisa. Yes, that is my natal chart. Big old grand square. That lovely pressure cooker. Thank you, Lisa. You're right. Being pulled in all corners. And I love how the balance of that masculine energy that showed up for me today is the feminine. And so this card showing up in the upright talks about the conscious allowing, that receiving is not an inactive action, that it is actually a conscious allowing that happens. So the feminine, there's actually great awareness that's happening. It's not inactive. To slip into the deepest levels of feminine surrender, it's not inactive. It's actually very active. It is this dormant potential that is brewing in the deepest feminine. And that's why it is a call to action to men. Like that post I shared yesterday that talks about the constant testing of feminine with masculine. That the true divine masculine wants to be constantly tested. And this is not the nagging. This is not toxic feminine. Do this, do that. These are my needs. Meet my needs. That's not what the feminine testing is. The feminine testing is, I'm going to hold you accountable. You're retracting your energy. You're pulling back. You're not showing up. Stay fucking present. That's feminine testing. And we do that in our deepest surrender. We do that in our stillness. That is the activeness of our stillness. That is the power of us, that even in stillness, we are our most powerful selves. Yes, Lisa says we create living organisms. An awakened woman does. Yes, we do. And we create change. Yes, Luke, safe surrender. Exactly. And when we show you that we feel safe, that is the ultimate compliment to divine masculine. I am safe to do this. But that's also the testing, the feminine testing. Can you actually show up so that I can feel safe to do it even deeper? Like come to the depths that you can't even fathom with me. Lorena says, referring to going out and making real life connections. I've been experiencing so many deep heart connection on all my travels lately and daily, every time I leave my house, and it's so beautiful. Oh, that is beautiful, Lorena. I'm glad that was a synchronicity for you. Trust yourself and it reflects everywhere you go. That part, trusting yourself. And so when we trust ourselves, we are able to hold others accountable, because we recognize it so clearly when someone is not showing up. When someone is not showing up. Luke says some people can only meet you at the depth that they've met themselves at. That's absolutely true. It's not some people, it's all people. People can only meet you where at their level of consciousness. And so this is also accountability. Right? So this is also falls into the category that I talked about yesterday. Are we taking people on potential or they're present? And if you see potential in someone, but they're not actually at that potential, you have to be willing to first forgive yourself for doing that, for having the expectation. And second of all, like for sticking around and pressing them, like they can only go at their own pace. The dichotomy of relationships have become shallow because of our current conditions. Yeah, Luke, that's been a long time. The paradigm is so fucked up. And I think that that's purposely been done, that a wrench has been thrown in to that dynamic of the masculine feminine energy to purposely fuck us up, because they know the true power of that union is the only thing that can actually transmute all of the darkness that exists. And so, yeah, let's raise women to be masculine. All of this masculine energy, women having to go out and earn and do this and drive and be active. It's caused a lot, like even the whole feminist movement, they are not even in their feminine. These are women running around with uber feminine bodies, but like 100% of the time in their masculine energy. Like, hello? And then these men who think, oh yeah, okay, I can show my emotion, and then they get stuck. They don't rise back up to be that uber masculine male that the strongest of us divine feminine need. And so they're just a shell of a man. And so, yeah, I think that's purposely done, Luke. That's really important to talk about. Like, let's prevent the strongest divine unions from occurring, because holy fuck, what would that do to those of us who are really feigning to be in charge? Like, fuck all that. It would change everything as you know it. And so the stone that showed up for me today is all about support, the sterilite. And I don't have one of those, but isn't that pretty? It's got a cross. That's how it actually grows. beautiful Mother Nature creating these live beings that grow in these phenomenal ways. But that talks about the support of the masculine, which is also the square, right? So the support of the masculine, but then it also talks about slipping into the conscious allowing of the support. And I am so ready for that. Like, that's the deepest healing that I've been doing within myself, like healing the divine union and merging my masculine and feminine within myself. So I recognize it so clearly outside of myself, and nothing that is even powerful enough to hold me has shown up yet. And so I keep getting messages from Spirit. It's still cooking. It's okay. Relax. And I'm like, okay. And so when I heard from Spirit, close your eyes and open your hands, that's how I am right now. I'm in the conscious allowing. Lorena says, community, our tribe comes with where your vibration is at. Us gathering now is important. Keeping each other accountable and fully supporting. That's so true. Silver and gold. I love that you said that, Luke, because when I work in meditation, I actually see the masculine and the feminine as strands of silver and gold weaving around me. So I love that. Hi, Kyle. And that is the sexual polarity that has to happen. Yes. Luke says you got to create enough tension between the two to create the merging. Exactly. So it's very passionate for a masculine woman and a man to show up and fuck. That's super powerful. But you don't ever reach the depths of intimacy that actually create the real power of union. Like the real magic that is all chakra stimulating and actually creates shock waves across the entire consciousness. That's the shit I'm calling in. Harmony through conflict. Exactly that, Lisa. But there's a lot of men that can't show up for that, Luke. But I see the amazing light within you to do that. And so the culmination of today's spread, it says beyond death, life. And that is the call to action for me to completely surrender. And I am actually all up in that, the surrender. And so the surrender really, when I was told to close my eyes and open my hands Monday night in breath work. And so really that's the energy that I've carried through this entire week. Just being in that conscious allowing, right? Not shaking the gift, because I don't want to know what's inside of it. I just want to be like this, like close your eyes and open your hands, or hold your hands out and close your eyes, you know? And I'm just like, I just am in the conscious allowing. Whatever is going to fall upon me through grace, I am allowing. I am allowing, and I am in surrender. And so being so unwaveringly obedient to Spirit and really pushing myself past those old energies of, will I be provided for? Will I be supported? Luke says, I did mine by accident when I smoked a joint and asked myself a question. And the uncertainty of knowing and not knowing triggered that merging. What was the question? Share the question. So I do this work on one-on-one with my clients, the merging work. And it's so powerful because I was told by Spirit how to do that, how to bring the toxic masculine mindset into the heart, into the feminine of the heart, where she can help him heal. And then the merging starts to happen, and it's so fucking powerful. But I would love to know what that question was, if you remember it. No. Just wanna get away. Okay. We may have lost him. Internet is a funny thing. Oh, here he is. How do I know I haven't already died and I'm not reliving my life experiences right now in this present moment. Yes. We die 1,000 deaths. I love that question. So Luke's question was, how do I know? How do I even know I haven't already died and I'm not reliving my life experiences right now in this present moment? How do we know anything? Thank you, Luke. And thank you all for sharing this time and space with me, this portal of energy. Oh, God, I appreciate you so much. And I am sorry for any misalignment that I myself have caused as source. Please forgive me. Thank you for this opportunity. I love you. I love you. I love you.